Hey, this is Matt Wimmer from Brady Precision. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a feature in Niagara 4 called Web Browser. And it's essentially the Niagara equivalent to iFrames, if you're familiar at all with the web application world. And as a part of using these things, there's a piece that you need to keep in mind called content security policies. And they basically are features in your browser and in Workbench that are going to keep you a little bit safer security-wise to prevent things like cross-site scripting and bad code from getting into your code. So this web browser widget, like I said, is an iframe, and it lets us embed websites into our PXs. It is located in the Workbench module. And let's go over to Workbench now and add it in. All right, so I'm in Workbench now, and I'm in this little test PX that I have. And I'm just going to open up this Workbench palette, which comes standard with every install of Niagara. And we're going to pull in this web browser widget. And I'm just going to pull it in and change the sizing up a little bit. And then I'm going to pull up the properties on it. And there is this ORD. And that's actually where we're going to put in our URL that we want to load up. For demonstration's sake, I'm going to use Google. But obviously what you would be using would actually be something that you would want to embed in a PX. The first thing that you'll see when you go to use any URL is that it's going to throw an error message in Niagara. It's going to say this URL is not allowed by Workbench's whitelist. What does that mean? So Workbench, like I mentioned, has some security policies in place to prevent web pages and which could potentially have some code that we don't actually want to use or have run within our stations. So by default, only a very small number of domain names are included in this whitelist. They are Tritium, Niagara Community, Honeywell Cloud, and Niagara Cloud. All of these URLs are used for various features, mostly the cloud-related features to get your device enlisted in the cloud services. But we have the ability to modify this list through the system.properties file of our Workbench. An important thing to note here is that this only applies to the Workbench that you make this change on. It's not a change that we're making on our station. It's just in the Workbench that we're connecting with. So if you needed to make this change, you very likely would need to make it multiple places. So just keep that in mind. So let's jump into our system.properties file and make this change. So I'm going to open up Windows Explorer. And the way that we get to this is we're going to go into our Niagara folder on C, and then our specific install. And then there's this defaults folder. We'll open that up. And then in here, there is this system.properties file. I'm going to open that up in my code text editor of choice, which is Visual Studio Code. And I'm going to do a find for URL whitelist. And you can see we're looking at around line 345, depending on if you've made any changes to the system properties file before or the version that you're using. This could be slightly different, but you're looking right around 345, and the property itself is called URL whitelist. So by default, it is commented out. We'll uncomment it. We'll leave all of these other URLs in here, and we'll add in our google.com. Notice that I put in a comma there at the beginning just so that it knows that we're adding another. We'll save this. And I'm going to make sure I save my PX. And then I'm going to reload Workbench. So shut it down and open it back up. Okay, Workbench is loaded back up. So let's log back into our station. And I'm going to pull up that testpx again. And our web browser widget or iFrame is working properly here. Okay, so now let's test it in the browser. Okay, now we're looking at the page in the browser, and you'll notice that it says the content is blocked. And if you're someone who pays attention to little things, this error message is actually coming from the browser. It's not coming from Niagara. So if I open up my developer tools here in Chrome, and we're looking in the console, we can see that it's refusing to put in this frame because it violates the following content security policy directive. Okay, well, let's take a look at what that actually means. So for several years now, browsers have had this idea of content security policy headers that are included in the code that you don't see behind the scenes of a web page that you might be bringing up. And what the headers say is where content can be loaded from. If there's content on a page that's coming from another source, we're going to tell the browser, hey, it's okay to load up this content. We know what it is. It's okay. So Niagara gives us the ability to set these content security policies in our web service. And we have this frame src property that we can make this change on. An important thing to note is if that you're using HTTPS for your station, your URL for the page that you want to embed also needs to be using HTTPS. So let's jump back into Niagara and give this a shot. Okay, so we're back in Niagara, and I'm going to go up to my services and my web service. And down here towards the bottom, there's this HTTP header providers. We'll open that up, and then content security policy. And then there's a whole bunch of these content security policies that we can set ourselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy the default, plug it in the frame source, and then we're also going to add Google, because that's what we're trying to load up. And we're going to save. And then when we make that change, it's always helpful anytime really you're making any significant changes in here. It's helpful to restart your web server. So we'll just do that here. Web server was restarted. We'll jump back into the browser. Because the web server was restarted, we have to log in again. And the page will load up. But we've still got an error message. Google.com refused to connect now is the error message we're getting. And if you look over here, we've actually got a different error message than we were getting before in the developer tools. So certain websites will set a header themselves that says whether or not they can be used in an iFrame like this. And Google has chosen not to let us do that. So they're saying the frame options for Google.com are only same origin, which means only Google.com can reference Google.com. So just something to keep in mind if you're using iFrames. And depending on the source of the iFrame, you might run into something like this where you just can't use the iFrame. Your only option is to set a hyperlink like we normally would with a button or something like that, and then link out to this page in a pop-up or a regular link to make that happen. So iFrames, not a magic bullet, won't fit every need, but they will fit some. So just figured it would be worthwhile showing some of these security related features around them. So hopefully you learned something, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.